Hey, I'm Cortavius. It's Sand Devil budget time. So click the link up there if you want to see my Sand Devil speed team version. That's already on the channel. This one's looking for teams that are more accessible. So I'm going to go through 3 different teams on here. One with Ninja and Godseeker. That's kind of the traditional team for people who are looking for a team that's easy to get to. But I'm also going to show one with Godseeker and Farak and the Fat. So a 2 epic team that will work for this dungeon. And I'll show you one team that uses Husk and Armiger as just, another option. It does take a couple legendaries, so it's not like, hey, you can just do it with an epic and a rare. I mean, it is Sand Devil 25. It's a pretty tough dungeon. So anyway, those are the 3 teams I'll show on this video, so we'll get into it. Let's get into it.
Hold up. Click the link in the description right now, and you can get the free legendary Karato, as well as one amazing epic as you level up. Here are the exact steps to follow. Step 1, log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Step 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3, launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Step 4, go to your inbox and claim Karato, the lockdown nuker, as well as an excellent support Tagoar as you hit level 15. Click the link now. Let's go!
All right, so while Ninja and Godseeker are plugging away on the boss here, it runs full auto, just let it go. I'll walk through some of the boss mechanics here and also the stats. So the Sand Devil boss runs at 270 speed. So if you want to put the sleep on before the boss goes, you got to have your champ over 270 speed. This team doesn't care. It just lets the boss kill them and Godseeker picks them back up. So the first 2 teams will ignore that. The third team will actually go before the boss. And you need 495 accuracy to land your debuffs. Godseeker doesn't need that, but Ninja does. Farak and the Fat will. And on the third team, you'll see that we need that kind of accuracy. If you wanted to resist the boss, you need like 655 resistance. That's a lot of resistance. I'm not aware of people who actually do that kind of resistance on this boss and trying to resistance strat, but if you did, that's what you would need. So you can see they took 2 minutes, 12 seconds. It's 3 foods, so it's nice. You can campaign farm with these 2. And actually, you have to campaign farm with these 2. If I just threw them in at the speeds they're at, because they're slower speeds, they won't be fast enough, and Godseeker won't get her turns back and she'll die. So you have to have some food in there. I just threw 3 food in. But yeah, you have to put it in the team settings. So you do have to put food in there. Yeah, out of energy. So that's the stats on the boss. It opens up with the A3 as you saw, and it will kill everybody. It ignores shields, block damage, unkillable, and 100% of your defense. So that first wipe, if you don't have any kind of a ability to revive on death or come back from Stone Skin, it's going to be death to the team. So those are the strats. You can put Stone Skin on and then take the hit, but that's only going to work for the first time, so you better be able to kill the boss after. Or you can do revive on death. And if you time the revive on death, then you can see Godseeker just keeps getting picked up because her passive kicks in. You can do the same thing with Mother Cybele, or I guess any revive on death champs that you can get to the right speed and timing. So the A2, the boss will cleanse itself, heal, and then an AoE that's not that hard. So you can see that the boss it has no debuffs. So once it comes back from sleep, it'll take those back off. But it comes up from sleep, Ninja will do the attack every time, and then the boss will actually strip those debuffs, which you'll see it do there, and then attack. But it's not a bad one. Godseeker can survive that. And then it does an A1, which will decrease speed and decrease accuracy. So you can see that's on Godseeker right now. This speed tune assumes that the boss is going to do that. But that can wreck your speed tune if you're not planning for that decreased speed and decreased accuracy on the A1. The hit itself isn't too bad either. So you can't put any debuffs on the boss unless it's asleep. So once it does its big AoE nuke, it puts itself to sleep. So this team just takes advantage of that, picks up Ninja right after the AoE sleep, picks up Ninja, boom, and he does his attack when he can land his debuffs, which in his case is HP burn. If you went before the boss, which my third team will do, you put the boss to sleep, and then, or I should say what my speed teams do, you put the boss to sleep, and then you just nuke the boss before the boss wakes up. So that's kind of the different ways you can do that. It reduces the damage that it takes on stage 16 to 25 by 75%, but it's lowered by 15% for each debuff that you put on the boss. So I'll just run that one more time, and then this will be the last run for this one, and I'll be done with the boss descriptions, and then we'll go on to the next team. It has that sleep counter you can see up there. In this stage, it starts off with a sleep counter of 8, so you have 8 turns to do damage. Ninja does a triple hitter, so that counts as 3 just for Ninja to do it. So there is a way to speed this team up. I just brought 3 food in so I can campaign farm. But if you want, instead of 3 food, use 1 food, 2 food, 3, or 3 food. You can bring in somebody that does more damage. So you could put 3 cold hearts on this team. Ninja will go 3 times, and then 3 cold hearts will go and use Heart Seeker each, and they'll take some of the boss off and speed this run up. Just bring in any nuker really that can take some hits in there, and it'll wake and you can do that approach. So, but then you're taking fewer food. So I don't do that because I use a speed team that puts the boss to sleep. And so I assume this is going to be a slower team. So if it can run for 2.5 minutes, let it just run while you're doing other stuff and let it farm. And you can actually farm food doing it this way. But if you did want this comp to be faster, just don't put 3 food in. Now, those food will only those other champs will only attack once, and then they're done for the fight because Godseeker is only going to pick up Ninja. So make sure if you do that, make sure Ninja's in the first position in the team order. So that for the boss stats and background and ways you can use this team. I'll pause this. I'll come back when this team's done, and I'll show you the team settings and the builds for this team. All right, so let's show you this team. I actually should have tried it without the presets. I'm pretty sure if you bring Ninja back with his full skills, he's going to use his Hail Burn anyway. But we do have it on Hail Burn as first priority. I guess I just built this team just for this video. I haven't tried it, so I don't know if you can just do it without the team settings, which would be nice because then you could have RSL Helper if you use it, just farm the food. I do have him for that. Godseeker, I have no presets on. So that's the team settings. The builds. Ninja, so Ninja does not have to be built as good as my Ninja's built. I just had the optimizer find an affinity breaker set and just told it go for damage. It brought this set back. I didn't try and make it lower. Your Ninja doesn't have to be built strong. If your Ninja's built weakly, he has to have the right accuracy. But if he's built weakly, he'll just take longer to kill the boss, but it'll still be 100%. Godseeker will keep picking him up. He'll keep doing damage. So it's just how long the run is. So this one, you can see I've got him in a level 12 chest, a level 12 helmet. I just didn't upgrade them, but I just put whatever was in inventory. But he does have 507 accuracy. I needed the 495, and I've got him around 223 speed. I've seen ninjas go as far as 245. So the speed range really doesn't matter much because he's gonna die anyway. And when Godseeker picks him up, he gets his skills back. So I'm not exactly sure what the range is. I don't really think the speed on him really matters. So HP, defense, and attack, really, it doesn't matter because he's gonna die and get picked up by Godseeker. So it doesn't matter what his strength is. Now he does have 4,400 attack. He's got 329 crit damage with being crit capped. So he's getting a little more damage in on those hits, so that's nice. Now he's negative affinity, so he still might weak hit on those if the affinity breaker set doesn't beat that. So, and the affinity breaker basically gives a 50% chance to change a weak hit to a critical hit. So it'll speed up his ability to get through this boss faster and gives him more crit damage. So as I said, you don't have to have affinity breaker. You don't have to have these damage stats. It'll just take longer on the run if you don't. And that's where you could actually do what I talked about is if you didn't put him in a build that's as good or with affinity breaker, you could just bring food, another champion that's not food, but just speeds up the run. It's another way to do that. So masteries, you can see I've got there. He's got Helm Smasher on him. I do have Nature's Wrath. Actually, it's a good point. This runs slower. If I had put Brimstone on him for this fight, I probably cut another 30 seconds off that fight easy. So I didn't put Brimstone on him. I guess I was going to for the video, but then I forgot. So you can see it works without it, but put Brimstone on it, it will speed this run up. He has Cat's Gaze Relic on, which once again will make it faster, but you don't have to have that. It's not important for the run. So that's Ninja, Godseekers, and Regen, and Immortal. That's not an option. Has to be in those sets. She has 78,000 HP, 4,400 defense, and 194 speed. I don't think it works if you're less than 194 speed with the food. I tried it without food and it fails. I didn't try it with 190 speed with food, but I think that 194 is minimum. You can be higher than that, but you can't be lower than that. And the HP and defense, I've seen it as low as like 70,000 and about 4,300 defense. I don't think you want to go, she stayed okay, but I don't think you want to go much below those. I try to keep her in level 12 boots, which are HP boots, level 12 shield, level 12 gloves with HP, and a level 12 weapon. So this stuff's not upgraded. So I try to keep her stats lower just to show you what worked for me, and she got comfortably through that. I don't think I would go below 4,000 defense for sure. I think I'm pretty low on the HP here. I've seen other champs with higher, so I would be cautious to go much lower than those. So that's the Godseeker and Ninja team. I'll be right back with Godseeker and Frockin' the Fat, and let's see how that goes. I gotta go build Fat in a different build first. All right, let's give the Godseeker, Frockin' the Fat team a try. Hey, I did leave you hanging a little bit, I think, with the speeds. I did go look at the optimizer, and I saw that Godspeaker teams had speeds anywhere from 177 up to 220 on Godseeker. I did take her banner off, and I did take her accessories off and tried her at a lower speed. It failed for me with her at 178. So I don't know how much I'm excited about the 177 speed I saw in there, but I will say the faster teams and slower teams, maybe they had stronger builds on the HP and the defense, and you can do the lower speeds. So I just find that 194 speed looks pretty healthy, but I did see speeds in there from 177 up to 220 on teams that were 100% successful with a ton of runs. And then Ninja's speed was anywhere from 199 up to 260 in the optimizer. So wide range on speed. I think that he's just built for other content. So they just probably brought him in at whatever speed he's at, but his speed doesn't really matter because he's going to die and get picked up, and Godseeker resets his skills anyway. So you don't need the speed. So this one's just using Fat for the HP burns and the poisons he can put up. I'll show you the builds. He's in a toxic set to get a little bit more damage out of him. You don't need that. You just need the HP and the accuracy, and then when he gets picked up, he'll put his HP burn and his poisons on the boss. This team will be slower than the Ninja team. You know, it's just, he's not activating the HP burns, so Frockin' the Fat as an epic just doesn't do as much damage as Ninja does. But it's 100% successful. You know, the revive on death strategy from Godseeker, as long as she's built well enough, she's just going to keep popping back up. She'll keep popping up Frockin' the Fat. He'll keep chipping away at the boss. So this team probably should take about, you know, close to 3 minutes, as he should land. He's favorable affinity, so he should land his abilities. Although I swear I just saw him not land anything there. Come on, Frockin', do the work, man. You're gonna extend my runs out. So I'll pause it here and I'll come back because you don't probably want to watch this for another minute, and I'll show you the team settings and build. All right, I'd say it was a bad RNG run. I saw him get resisted on a couple of his skills, so that slowed this run down. 3 minutes, 34 seconds. As I said, I think the average time I saw for this team was like, you know, 250. So I think he'll have some faster runs, some slower runs. If he gets resisted on his abilities with the 3%, it's going to slow the run down, and that's what I saw in this run. But point is, it works. You know, two epics and food. I mean, I run a speed team generally, but now that I look at this, if I just set it up to run at night when I go to bed and let the RSL helper run it, you know, boy, I could be farming food in there. So it is an interesting, interesting team that can do it with just 2 epics full auto. So it is a great little team. Let me show you the team settings on this one. This one does need the team settings because Frockin' the Fat will come in and use his beatdown. I think it's his first choice, and you don't want him to do that. So that's turned off so that when he gets picked up by Godseeker, he'll use his brand of shame. So Godseeker's same thing, no skills. Frockin' the Fat, just that one. Let me show you the builds. I already showed you Godseeker. She's in the same build. So Frockin' the Fat, I got him in a toxic set just to get a little more damage. He doesn't need to be in toxic. It'll just be a little slower. Not much. I mean, it's weak poisons anyway. So you can see I didn't level up the gear on him either. He's got 312 pieces on there. I just had the optimizer throw a toxic set based on damage, and this is what it gave me. So he had 189 speed and 497 accuracy. He needed 495. So he has the accuracy he needs. It's really all he needs. Speed didn't really matter because Godseeker picks him up and uses his ability. So might as well throw some damage on him. I got some attack and some crit rate and some crit damage on him, so he can do a little hit. It doesn't add up to much. So as long as you're building somebody really slow with enough accuracy, you know, it's whatever you can get on him after that. So that's Frockin' the Fat's build. Let me come back with the last team. All right, this last team I'll throw in is kind of a bonus feature. It's not really free to play, I'd say, because it does have Riho and Sybil in it, but I just like it because it has Armorger and Husk as my DPS, which this was the first Sand Devil team I built. Basically, it just works with the boss wiping out the team. Sybil picks them back up. Riho will land her debuffs, and then Armorger and Husk go in and do their max HP. So 2 minutes, 22 seconds. It's decently fast, I'd say, really. I mean, it's not speed by any chance. That's my other video, but I just like that it has Husk and Armorger in it. So bonus feature, I'd call it, because with the Void Legendary and a Legendary in there, it doesn't really fit the theme of this video as much, where I used 2 epics to beat it, and I used Ninja and Godseeker to beat it. So yeah, you do need you have to have Mother Cybele and Riho for this team to work. So harder to get to. But I just like Husk and Armor. So with this team, you can't run the 5th spot. You can't put food in there for that 5th spot, or this team won't work. So just for anybody who happens to have Riho and Mother Cybele and wants to build this team, I will show you the recently used first. Riho is in a 227 speed, and you got to be pretty much on that, and enough accuracy to land. And then she needs enough HP and defense to survive. She has to be well built with the HP and defense. So I did have this at 3,600 before, so you can have less defense than that, but she just has to be strong. If the team's not surviving, then you just know she's not built strong enough. Mother Cybele and Regen and Immortal, and she's at 249 speed. And speeds are pretty important on these. And then enough HP and defense to survive the boss's other attacks is all that matters. She doesn't need any accuracy. Riho had to have the 495. Husk and Armiger, their speeds matter. So he's anywhere between 158 and 162 for Husk. I thought it had to be closer to 158, but 162 worked fine. And then really from there, HP and defense matters on these guys. They have to take some hits while they get healed. So they have to have enough survivability. Thankfully, that's how Husk does his damage. And then whatever crit damage you can get on him, then this team will go forever. So it's not that they, just the lower the crit damage you have, just the longer the run take. And then Armiger is in 158 speed with 321 crit damage. So once again, enough HP and defense just to survive. I mean, that's 40,000 HP is pretty low. So just enough to be able to survive the other boss attacks. So that's that team. I guess, hold on a second. Didn't show you the team settings. This team won't work without it. So Mother Cybele is the 1s and 2s there. Riho has her debuffs as prioritized first, and the other one second. Husk just to spare, and I do leave the A3 open, and Armiger's on the A1, so that's it, or the A2 prioritized. So hey, that's the vid. It's the budget teams to do Sand Devil. It's got a couple easy accessible teams, I'd say, and then one, a couple fun champs, but harder to get to. So this was a lot of work to do this video, so I had to do the research, pull the builds in, build everybody, and run all 3. So hey, if you could like and subscribe if you made it this far into the video, I'd really appreciate that. Get a little reward for the effort. So hopefully it was helpful. Thank you. Have a great day.